Hi, so this video is going to be about how to administer Humalog to Ruthie for when she eats something with carbohydrates in it, or if she requires a correction. So for today's video, we're specifically going to be discussing carbohydrate to insulin ratios. So Ruthie's is currently, for every 30 carbohydrates, she receives 1 unit of Humalog insulin. That will change over time. And so whenever you get Ruthie in your possession, I will have a list of what her insulin to carb ratio is. If it has changed, different insulin to carb ratios for different meal times. And then eventually when we get to corrections, how to calculate a correction and how to administer that to bring her blood sugars down. So for today, we're specifically going to be talking about how to administer Humalog. So in her diabetes kit, you're going to need an alcohol swab, a pen needle, and her Frio bag. Inside the Frio bag, you're going to open it up, and you're going to see a green pin in there. So there's 2 pins. The green pin is the Humalog. I like to think of it as the green as a frog, so it is faster than the gray, which is an elephant. So for the Humalog, you would remove the cap. You would take your alcohol swab. You would wipe off the tip of the pin. I also use this alcohol swab to wipe off, clean the area that I'll be administering the insulin in. Okay. On her logbook, it will be noted which side of her body you will administer the insulin in, left or right, over here on the side, depending on the day. At different meals, we alternate sites, so between the back of her arm, the back of her thigh, and her love handles area. So you'll remove the paper part on the pen needle. You're going to take the pen needle and screw it into the insulin pen, okay, to where it's tight. You're going to remove the top plastic piece and the plastic piece that's covering specifically the needle. Then what you're going to need to do is dial the insulin pen in order to prime it. So sometimes there gets air bubbles into the insulin or into the needle, so you want to make sure that we're pushing those out. Okay. So I normally dial it up to about 2 units. Okay. Each of these notches is going to be half a unit, and you'll actually hear it click as you dial it up. So for priming, what I do is I will push out the insulin either into the sink or into a gauze pad, depending on where I'm at. You will hear it go down, and also in the window, it will go back down to 0. Once you've done this, your pen is now ready to administer the insulin. So depending on what Ruthie has eaten or what you've served at that meal, there's going to be a different amount of carbohydrates in what she is eating. So you're going to have to calculate based on what she's eaten, how much insulin her body needs in order to process that food. Like I said, currently her insulin to carb ratio is 30 grams of total carbohydrates to 1 unit of insulin. So for example, if you serve and she eats 45 grams of carbohydrates at, say, dinner or breakfast, you're going to administer 1.5 units of insulin. Okay, so I'm going to dial that up to 1.5. Okay, it's between the 1 and the 2. What you're going to do is you're going to grab the area and kind of just pinch it loosely. A lot of times Ruthie likes to use her shot blocker to put around the area, so she'll either hold that or you can have someone help you hold that into the area. Then you're going to take the pin and you're going to inject the needle at not a 90-degree angle, so perpendicular to the skin. Okay. Once you insert it into the skin, you're going to hold it there and you're going to take your thumb and push down on the plunger here, and you're going to hear it click until it goes all the way down, and in the window it'll say 0 again. Then while the needle's in, you're going to count to 10 so that you make sure all the insulin has come out of the needle and into her body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you remove the pin. You're going to put the cap back onto the needle, the cap back onto the pin top, and you're going to unscrew the pin needle from the pin. Then you're going to put the cap back onto the pin and put the pin back into the Frio bag. You're going to dispose of the pin needle into a sharps case, so either a Gatorade bottle, an empty Gatorade bottle, or an empty coffee can, or an empty laundry detergent bottle. The rest of the items you can toss in the trash can. For meals, we'll log next to the blood sugar reading that you've seen off of the Dexcom before the meal. You would write that number down, and then you would also write down the amount of insulin that you have given at that meal. And I think that's it. Oh, for corrections, we have not learned about those yet. So we will eventually get to the point where when you see her blood sugar trending high for a long period of time, you would be able to give her a correction and calculate how much insulin you would give her in order to bring her blood sugar down. But we're currently not there yet. We're currently only giving insulin for the total number of carbs that she eats. So right now we're just focusing on the nutrition labels and the total carbs in those. And then other than that, I think we're good. Thank you.